Hello, TopFanRivalry followers, and welcome to another edition of Astros in Orbit. Hey, it's Bill, it's Suzy. We got a bunch of fun. You know, Suzy, she's going to keep you laughing this whole time. We always say don't be drinking anything because you might laugh so hard you won't swallow well. So, good morning, Suzy. How are you?
Good, good, Bill. Good. I forget if this is PG-13. I'm gonna just say hello and good morning and go Stros. What I'm gonna say.
I kind of set that up, didn't I, for you?
You did, and I need you to know how much restraint I'm showing right now. I need you to know all of the
Yes,
restraint,
you should,
all of it.
since we're watching this either on YouTube or in the locker room, you can see Susie's restraint face. It's like, come on,
It's
come on, don't make
it's
it that easy. Come on.
it's very difficult right now. It's very difficult. Anyhow, so
There you go. All right. So since we last talked last week, the Astros have played the Angels. They played the A's and they played one game with Seattle. They went 3-3 in this last week. Thoughts on this last week of Astros baseball?
I'm a fan of an unserious organization. That is what I am. There is literally no reason that we should have gone 3-3. There is absolutely none. I'm not saying that we should have swept. Sweeping teams is hard. I'm just saying that there's no reason that we should have lost to the Angels, and there is no reason that we should not have won that game last night against the Mariners. And I can't even blame this on the return of Jose Abreu, because Jose Abreu did his job last night. He drove in a run. Now, granted, some of the defensive mistakes, I'm not going to say that, I would have made those, because I wouldn't have made those, but, like an actual first baseman that has, I don't know, a little bit
Ah,
better reflexes, maybe would have made some of those catches and not allowed runs. But that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. That's why would I be a fan of an organization that sends down a right-handed crushing player that, can hit bombs and has, a 333 batting average. That's just silly. Why would you want a player like that in your organization? That's so dumb. It's so silly. So dumb.
so crazy.
I'm a
So
I'm a
absolutely
fan.
crazy, right?
Yeah, I'm a fan of a unserious organization, guys. That's what's happened. No, but seriously though, this is make or break time for the Astros for against the Mariners. I mean, really and truly, we're going to be lucky if we can split this series. Quite honestly, in my heart of about it, especially since Fromber was on the mound last night, and if we're going to split, you look at the pitching matchups and you say, okay, we've got Fromber, we've got JV, Hunter, and Spencer. Let's if you're a casual and you're just looking at the matchups, you're going to say, okay, well, Fromber and JV, those are the matchups that we would quote unquote expect to win. Hunter and Spencer, maybe not so much. But Fromber again, just I don't even know. I don't even know. The wheels fell off in the first, and apparently that's all she wrote. Scored all of their runs and then didn't score anything else. I love that
So
for
it
us. So
I'm
good.
I'm actually looking at your schedule right now, and so you've got three more with Seattle. You've got three with Minnesota. But then you take a six-game turn where you've got three at home with the Cardinals who are struggling, and then three in Anaheim against the Angels, who are a team that is desperately looking for something. You don't know what they're looking for, but they're desperately looking for something. But this month of June, you've got the Angels, you've got the White Sox, you've got the Rockies, you got the Mets. Sprinkled in there, you do have the Twins, you do have the
They're white
Tigers.
hot now. White hot. We cannot discount the Rockies. We cannot discount the Rockies. They just won their series against the Phillies. They just won their series um against the Rangers. Like we can't they're white hot. I don't know what actually is going on, uh,
in Colorado.
with the Rockies. It's not a thing. I don't
So
know.
I interviewed a gal named Shannon last week, and Shannon had got a special T-shirt made up of one of her animals and like a Rockies jersey, and she wore it, and they won. And then the next night she wore it, and they won, and she kept wearing it, and they won 9 in a row. And she's like, I'm not going to take it off until they lose.
That's that's a smart woman. That is a smart woman right there.
Yeah, and and so after they lost, I emmed her on Twitter and said, hey, wash the shirt, put it on, take a day off, and then put it on again. And then they went on like a 3 or 4 game winning streak again. And I want to message her and say, you put it on again. So,
Yeah.
anyways, um, okay. So, that being said, um, weak spots, strong spots, going into this week, like you said, the Mariner series isn't do or die, but it's definitely not.
It
I'm
kinda
looking at
is, though. It kinda is. It kinda
okay,
is, especially since it's within the division and since it's within grasp.
okay.
It's like we are within a stone's throw of taking our rightful spot at the top of the AL West. That's that's really what this is. However, if it's not, if for some reason, you know, Seattle does unthinkable to the record again, especially within the division. And so, and really and truly, Seattle fans are just cretins. Like I cannot with Seattle fans. Just
Oh, too funny.
it drives me insane. It drives me insane.
Well, I will confess to you, I do have a Seattle Mariners jersey. My aunt lived up there. She passed away a year and a half or so ago, and she used to go to a lot of the games. So it has her last name on it and her favorite baseball number, and it's sitting in my closet. So I have a little bit of a 6 degrees of separation with the Mariners, um, only with family connections, right? And so, you know, it's but what's interesting is if you guys win, you're absolutely right. If you win the next 3 games, you are a game and a half out of first place. You are a game and a, and here's what's funny: you're a game and a half out of first place, and you're 3 games under 500.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah, no, we're fully aware, Bill. We hate it here. Okay, we hate it here. It's not a good place to be mentally, physically. It's none of those things.
So if you were this is how grateful you should be. If you were the National or the American League East, you'd be in last place. Um, if you were in the Central, you'd be in second to last place, and you'd be someplace between 9 and 12 games out of first place.
Oh yeah, no,
Right?
we are fully aware of how apparently trashed the AL West is, and it's the AL West and the AL Central have we've just apparently that's what we've done. The Royals and the Guardians have taken our aura and they just said, "Oh, you thought it was the Astros? No, no. Let's watch this." And Seth Lugo just goes out and shoves, and Michael Wacha goes out and shoves, and the Kansas City Royals and the Cleveland Guardians being, you know, the winningest AL teams. Like that's how we all drew it up in the off season, right? Actually, if you were a known ball knower, you would know that we were on the Royals train. We said the Royals were going to be much better this season. So that's
Well, when you say we, you better be including me there, Sherlock, because I called the Royals or the Tigers to win that division. And
oh, the Tigers. Come on now, Bill. Known ball
mm-mm,
knowers.
mm-mm. You got Spencer Torkelson over there. You've got Javier Baez, who's got to make a change at some point, right? And you've got Colt Keith. And then you've got what is it? What's the pitcher's name over there? I'm looking
Which
him up.
pitcher? Derek Skubal?
Yeah, Scooble, right? You've got
They're
Schoolboy over
still
there.
they're still 3 pieces away. They're still 3 pieces away. That I don't actually, I take that back. Javi Baez, if you get buy-in from Javi Baez, you may actually have a chance.
Mm.
Because with, like, runners in scoring position, he's insane. But if there's nobody on at, like, sliders, they're 4 feet out the it's not a thing. But no, Riley Green's over there, he's been doing it. Spencer Torkelson is kinda heating up. Colt Keith, he got rid of his, like, big leg kick and, like, changed it into a toe tap, and now he's been going. But I still I still think it's the Royals. I still think it's
Oh,
the
I do
Royals.
too. I do too. I'm actually surprised that the Guardians have kept up this far. I mean, when you look at the Guardians, you truly look at the Guardians lineup, and it's like watching Major League Baseball. Who the F are these guys, right?
Baseball
And
is baseballing.
baseball is baseballing. Now, let me ask you a question. Are you happy and you know it, clap your hands type thing that you did not get Blake Snell?
But I wasn't a big proponent of let's get Blake Snell anyways though. So
Okay,
it's not a huge ha 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 like moment for me.
okay,
I I don't know. But again, I never thought that Blake Snell was going to be the Blake Snell of last season anyways.
yeah.
And everyone's like,
So
"Suzy, you
he's
don't know ball." Well, do I really?
yeah, exactly. He is 0-3. He's pitched 19 innings with 24 strikeouts, and he's got a 10.42 ERA. So for a guy that's making $32 million, 19
Yeah.
innings through the
It's not
month
a
of
great look.
May, and you still don't even have your first win yet.
Yeah. It's not a good look. But we've is he eating innings though? Like that's that is important because
He went 4 1/3 yesterday. The game before that, he went 3 1/3.
okay, well that never mind. I was gonna say he's gone he's gone farther than some of our pitchers, but you know, he hasn't. So but
Yeah, no,
Christian Javier went back on the IL.
I
Jose
saw that.
Urquidy went back on the IL. So now instead of running with a 6-man rotation like we thought we were going to, we gotta go back into the actual like a 5-man rotation and just hope to God that Hunter Brown and Spencer Arrighetti. And really, who are we kidding? Every time Fromber takes the mound now, I kind of hold my breath. Really and truly, like Ronel Blanco is the only one that I have no doubts on.
So, okay, so that's true, and we're going to talk about him in a second, but that's true. The but dot 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 with Fromer, Mr. Fromer, I love his passion. He just needs to get out of his own way. Like he gets frustrated by simple things, and it seems to throw him off mentally. Just stay the
Yeah.
course, dude. Stay the course. It's that simple, right? If you walk 2 batters in a row, don't lose your mind. It's okay. So
Well, and the fact that the Angels start that he had that blew up on us, it was a winnable game. It was a winnable game, and he that's not on me. That's not on me. That's on the pitches that were called. So I am now going to take the helm and I'm going to just throw what I'm going to throw. And then it got out of hand. And the fact that he doesn't respect Yiner enough to throw the pitches that Yiner is calling, and regardless if that is coming from Yiner or if those calls are coming from the dugout, if those calls are coming from the dugout and he's shaking those off, like that's a whole other more lengthy conversation that we have to have.
mhm,
But the fact
mhm.
that the game was well in hand. It was 6-1 and then it was 6-4 after that first like 3-run bomb that he gave up and we're like, that's fine, Fromber. Like we can get back on track here.
Mhm,
Okay, all you need to do is just take a beat,
mhm.
collect yourself, and then go. But no, he's like, no, that's not on me. It's the pitches that you call. That's why they hit them. And I've been running with this theory that he wants Victor Caratini to catch him anyways, because I don't think that he respects Yan. It's not that so much that he respects Yanner or he doesn't respect Yanner. I don't think he's comfortable with Yanner back there, which is fine. Like, okay. But then again, that's on this organization last season when they didn't force the issue when we had Maldi. And everyone's like, oh, well, he wants to throw to Maldi. Okay, that's fine. But Maldi's not going to be here forever. So at some point, you gotta let the young kid catch Maldi and use Maldi as a net.
Yep.
And it just irritates the crap out of me that this is this is the guy that, and he when he's on, he's great.
Mhm.
But it has to be smooth sailing for him in order for it to be great. And last night Victor Caratini came out and it kind of looked like that scene from that I think it's the Tom Hanks movie where it's he whatever and the guy's like, "Look at me. I'm the captain now." Like it's that
Oh,
meme
yeah.
and that's kind of what it reminded me of when Victor Caratini came out and it looked like he had a very stern talking to Fromber about like I'm only, guessing. Like get out of your own head. Let me do the thinking. Let me call the pitches. You just throw them the way that we all know that you can throw them and let's get out of this.
Mhm.
Quit trying to be the boss. And got out of the inning. I'm like, amazing. What happens when you get out of your own way, Fromber? But that's,
It's
it's ridiculous is what it is.
mhm. He it he is a very he's he's not as extreme as you don't remember this guy because this was pre-baseball, Susie. But there's a player that was named Milton Bradley. And Milton Bradley, when he'd get frustrated, he'd really get frustrated. So Milton Bradley played for like 8 different teams. And back when he played in the
Was
mid
that before he made board games?
exactly, that's I knew you were gonna say that. Um, but he played for the Dodgers for 2 seasons, and he went 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts one day. And back in the clubhouse back then, it was like 2007, 2008, they had a frame in glass, like clubhouse rules from the MLB, right? Every clubhouse had it. Like it was framed. It was like, okay, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can do this, blah, 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 blah. Milton took a bat to it and broke the glass, shattered the glass. The Dodgers kept it up all season to remind people about how to control your emotions, right? And how
Yeah,
to manage
that's ridiculous.
expectations in baseball. So he also got frustrated one time when he didn't catch
Ridiculous.
when he went over to the stands to catch a foul ball and the fan got in the way. Like he was like literally reaching over though, right? He picked up the guy's beer and threw it at him. So
How dare you be in the stands where you're supposed to be, fan? Good
exactly,
night.
exactly. Um, I know we talked about this last week, but speaking of Frommer and his passion, I know we talked a little bit about this last week, but do you still feel the same way that your manager needs to have a little bit more passion? Doesn't need to go 0 to Frommer, but definitely needs to do 0 to something.
If Joe Espada does not get thrown, if the zone is as bad tonight as it was last night, if Joe Espada does not get out of the dugout and start kicking dirt and start throwing arms up, I am going to run on the field and do that because my goodness, I do. Mm, 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 mm. Angel Hernandez retired, and this umpire, who shall remain nameless because I don't want to be sued for libel, decided that he is going to take up the mantle of Angel Hernandez. And Bill, when I tell you that these are not just like slightly outside the zone. We're talking in the other batter's box. These were called
Awesome.
strikes. The
Awesome.
other batter's box. And I thought it was bad when Bryce Miller was in. No, 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 no. There was one when I think Trent Thornton was in. I mean, Cal Raleigh was not even set up over the plate, was set up literally in the other batter's box. And you can see the umpire not even right behind Cal Raleigh. Like Cal Raleigh is like a full body over from him. The umpire is still behind the plate. Cal Raleigh is literally not even in front of the umpire. And he calls a strike. And at this point, I lost it. I lost it, and I was like, if somebody does not come out of the dugout right now, I was screaming into the void. Nobody came out. Nobody came out, and they had said, I think one of our beat reporters had said that there was some chirping going on from the Astros dugout about. I need more than chirping. I need way more than chirping. I
Yeah.
need I need dirt kicked. I need arms flailing about. I need all of it. I need all of it because this zone last night was absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And that it of at bats. If A, the zone was called correctly, and B, if Fromberg hadn't gotten squeezed.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
there were some calls that went our way as well, but there were way more calls that went against us.
Mhm.
And I just
Yeah. No,
makes
it's
me so angry. So
it,
angry.
it and it should honestly, because it's I mean that, and I've seen that. I've seen what you're talking about, Susie, where catchers realize, hey, he'll give the outside part like 3 inches, 4 inches outside, and they'll set up there and they'll hit the glove, boom. I mean, what game was I watching? I think it was a Dodger game. I think it was maybe it was a Mets game. And I read the guy's lips. He's like, I can't even hit that. Like it was kind of like you were saying in the left-handed batter's box. Like he's like, I can't even reach that. So how do you expect? And the guy calls, yeah, so I get it. I get it. It's again, it's to the point of what I had mentioned before, was we pay to see the athletes. The umpires are just there to keep the game fair. They're not to insert themselves in the game. And when you're calling pitches that are all the way in the Astros dugout, that's not good. It's not good.
No,
Um,
no.
to to
It's
your favorite
very upsetting.
to your favorite team, the New York Yankees, last season, um, Anthony Rizzo was up to bat, and this guy threw a curveball and hit him in his butt, but in the like hard to explain. But Anthony tried to move out of the way a little bit, like just kind of sit up a little bit, and he still got hit. And so he goes running down to first base. And the umpire calls him back and says, "You didn't try to move." Because the rule says you have to try to move to get out of the way. And so he didn't try, quote unquote, didn't try to move. Aaron Boone got tossed out of the game. And I'm on the phone with a friend of mine who's a Yankees fan. I'm like, what's he supposed to do? Running in the third base dugout? Like, what? I mean, yes, it was a curveball. Yes, it was like 83 miles an hour. Yes, you had a little bit of time. But I don't know when the last time you were at a batting cage, Susie. When you go in that 80 mile an hour
Never.
thing, it clips. It 80 miles an hour from 60 feet 6 inches is still fast, everybody. It's still fast. You have less than a second to react. And so Aaron Boone came out and he got thrown out, which I was proud of him for that. But I mean,
Yeah, I need someone to come out of the dugout. If it doesn't if Joe Espada doesn't want to do it, that's fine. But like send Cintron out, send somebody out. Do something
send
because
JV out.
I
Send JV out. He's a first ballot Hall of Fame. What are you gonna do? You're gonna throw him out of the game. He's gonna get suspended one start. Who cares? Like let JV protect his pitchers. If nobody else is gonna protect their pitchers, let JV do it.
do do something. Good night. Yeah, if that's well, and we should be used to this. We should be used to this because Dusty never. So you know that when he actually came out of the duck, like he was fired up. I think in the 4 years that he was here, I think he got tossed twice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
That makes sense. Makes sense.
like, and that's fine. Like I got it for Dusty, he's older, he had to keep his blood pressure down. I get it. That's all right, that's fine.
No,
So
well, but see, here Dusty, though, had been there. He had the respect level. Like when he comes out of the dugout, it's because you really did screw up, right? I mean, we all have that friend that doesn't say a lot, but when they do give you their opinion, it's something to listen to because they've earned that respect or whatever. So yeah, no, I get it. With Dusty, yeah, I get it. Okay, final question, Suzy. Final question. You've got three more with the Rain City itself, Seattle Mariners, and then three with the Minnesota Twins. Be Suzy Odamas here. The next six games, how many of those are you winning? Actually, not fair to ask you because
I'm gonna go against my better judgment, and I'm gonna say 4. I'm gonna say 4. I'm gonna go against
bold,
my better judgment, though.
bold. Where do you get them? Where do you get the four
We're
wins?
gonna again, I'm going against my better judgment, and I'm saying that we split the series with Seattle and that we take 2 from the Twins. But
So two out of three from the
it's
Twins, and then you get two out of four from Seattle. Can
say
can we
against again, my better judgment.
can we get
We're gonna
the
speak it into existence. That's what we're gonna do.
okay, that's
Kyle
what we're gonna do.
Tucker Yeah. Kyle Tucker, not only is he the most awesome baseball player ever, leading the entirety of MLB with 18 home runs. Okay. This man is playing out of his shoes. So, if they'll stop being babies and pitch to him, I'm just saying, if Jordan gets locked back in because Jordan is like a tick, just a half a skosh not locked in. Like he's just right there. And if it could just get that little we'll be good. If Alex Bregman, I don't know what Alex Bregman did. I don't know if someone stole all his headbands and he said, "You know what? We're not doing this headband business anymore." I don't know what happened. Okay, but maybe Marucci needs to send him more headbands. I will send him my headbands. Okay, and that was like back. I
Yeah,
need him
yeah,
back because Bregman in the 4 hole is not the business. Is not the business.
yeah. So I appreciate the boldness, but what I would like is I would like that wicked wicked one more time, the wicked, how do I say it, superhero laugh that you did when we started this. Can I get that one more time, please, as you made the
I don't know
prediction?
what you're talking about.
Uh-huh. When you rewatch this back, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Yep, yep, yep. All right.
I
Suzy,
actually don't know what you're talking about. That's the funny part. Like I actually don't know what you're talking about, and so now I'm all, what did I do?
yeah, you have to watch all I'll have to screen record it for you or something. It'll be fun.
Like I said, the positive Susie came in and overtook my body and did things and said things. She's
And
gone
she's
now.
gone now.
Realistic Susie is here. Realistic Susie is here. And
And she's out now.
probably will take this series, and it's gonna be a dogfight with the Twins. So,
Yep, yep, yep.
that's where we are.
That's where we are. Okay. Suzy, number one, I always love doing Astros in orbit with you. I love your breakdown and your analysis. For those of you that are listening to this in the locker room, congratulations. There's a lot of fun stuff that's going to be hitting the locker room this next month and a half. Number two, if you're listening to this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe uh, to the
Hit
YouTube
that big
channel.
red button, y'all.
Yeah, hit the big red button. And in addition to that, follow Top Fan Rivalry on X and Instagram and Facebook. And then also, if you would like, you could go to Bourbon and Baseball Pod and hit the big red button on that one too, and you'll get more of Susie's opinions. But they won't necessarily be family friendly. So they will be what Suzy thinks, and between here and here, there is no
There is no
filter.
filter.
Yeah,
No.
there is
Now,
no filter.
to be fair, I start off every episode with the rated R warning. So you can't get mad. You can't get mad when you're listening and all of a sudden the rant happens and your 5-year-old is now asking you what certain words mean. You can't get mad because I start every episode with the rated R warning.
There you
So
go.
rated R
There you
Susie over
go.
here, PG-13 Susie over here. It works. It works for everybody.
There you go. There you go. So, all right, everybody, to next week. Susie, stick around for a second. To next week, we go baseball. Susie's gonna say go Astros. As a Dodger fan, I have trouble saying that, but go baseball. Have a
Go
good one, everybody.
Astros!